Wonderful presentations and stories have been shared, but now we want to delve into it in deeply so that we ensure that before we leave here, we can practice most of the things that we have learned. And we have lined up very seasoned panel members to assist us in the deliberation. Kindly permit me to introduce our panel discussants for this morning. Now is afternoon, thank you. First is the seasoned business executive with over 18 years experience in leadership within insurance and financial services sector. She is the Chief Executive Officer of Star Assurance. Her transformational leadership after assuming her current role as the Chief Executive of the company since November 2020 has positioned it to be Ghana's second largest insurer, driving growth through bold strategy, customer-focused innovation, and digital modernization. Starting her career at Star Assurance, Boatiman gained hands-on experience across various departments before rising through senior management role to becoming the Chief Executive Officer. Her broad operational expertise and strategic vision uniquely position her to lead this dynamic space. She is a strong advocate for business intelligence, digital transformation. She also advanced technologies to enhance decision-making within her organization by streamlining operations and elevating customer experience. Boatima holds dual master's degree in finance and accounting, management from the University of Stanford, UK, and she is a chartered insurer. She has earned her diploma also from the Malta International Training Center. Beyond her executive role, she serves as the president of the Ghana Insurers Association. She is also a member of NIC's Insurance Education Fund and has broad membership experience in telemedia since 2010. She's also fluent in English and French. She's passionate about corporate governance, ESG leadership, and advancing financial inclusion across emerging markets. Kindly help me welcome Mrs. Boatima Dufour Boayebua. Please give it up for her. Please have a seat, the very first thing. Thank you so much. Our next panel discussant is a seasoned insurance executive, a transformational leader committed to inclusive growth and sustainable leadership across emerging markets. As the CEO of Impact Life Insurance Ghana, he drives excellence, customer trust, while shaping the next generation of resilient insurance professionals. He previously led the remarkable turnaround of Allianz Life Insurance Ghana, moving it from the top 10 position within 5 years of taking that role. Internationally, he advocates for inclusive insurance as a partner of Micro Insurance Masters in Belgium, and also a facilitator of Accelerator Program in Kenya and Philippines, empowering innovators to design climate-responsive, customer-centric solutions for the underserved communities. He is a DDI accredited facilitator and a certified management trainer. He also mentors and develops human capital. He is an associate of both Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana and Chartered Insurance Personnel Management of Nigeria. Please help me welcome Mr. Gideon Atarere. Please keep it coming. Thank you. Yes, our next, but last but not the least, We have an experienced insurance professional with over 20 years experience in non-life sector. She serves in the technical department of Linkage Insurance Limited, where she leads marine and aviation teams and manage special risks underwriting across bonds, engineering and aviation, and also oil and gas. She's a graduate with an MBA in marketing. She is an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria. She has led leadership roles as the General Secretary and immediate past chairperson of the Marine Officers Committee under the Nigerian Insurers Association. She has attended numerous professional courses locally and internationally, including International Union of Marine Conference, and also an active member of PILA in Nigeria, and also the Nigerian Factoring Working Group. Kindly help me welcome Mrs. Felicia Seyi Mustafa. Yes, please help me welcome the next discussant. She is a fellow of the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana with over 20 years experience in corporate leadership and business transformation. She currently serves as the General Manager of Enterprise Funeral Services, which is Transitions, where she is recognized for her strategic foresight, organizational excellence, and turnaround experience. She holds an MPhil in Agricultural Administration. She is a certified business management consultant from the University of Stellenbosch and a certified pre-planning consultant under NFDA USA. She is a member of the Certified Management Consultants Global Institute. Beyond her corporate achievements, she is passionate about youth and women development and labs mentoring. Her dedication has earned her multiple awards for excellence and impact across Ghana and beyond. Kindly help me welcome Mrs. Genevieve Cornelius. Before we start the conversation, there will be a presenter by the president of the GIA. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elsie. Good afternoon. So I'll be speaking on empowering insurance women, enabling shared growth and leadership legacy. Before I go ahead, I just want to acknowledge and thank the executives of CILAG. They've done everything physically, spiritually, emotionally possible to ensure that I'm here today, and I really appreciate their support. So good afternoon once again. To my colleagues, my mentors, trailblazers, and to every woman here who's ever had to explain for the third time that insurance is not just about selling policies. I want you to take a look around this room. Everybody should look around this room, please. Because when I look around, I do not just see professionals in this room. I see possibility. I see decades of hard-won experience. I see leadership that has been earned and leadership that is still becoming. And most importantly, I see the future of insurance in Ghana and in Nigeria and across the continent. So before I say anything, I want to acknowledge what it means that we are all here today. 2 associations, 2 nations, of course, Ghana, and Nigeria, with a shared conviction that women in this industry deserve more than a seat at the table. In fact, we deserve to build the table ourselves. So I'm going to look at the risk that we have never thought about and never priced. I often say that in insurance, we price risk. We absorb shocks and we restore people after the loss. It is what we do and it is who we are. But here is something that has stayed with me for a very long time. We have built an entire science around quantifying loss. We've modeled it, we've stress tested it, we've made provision for it. We have entire departments dedicated to making sure that when something is wrong, we are ready. And yet, as an industry, we never seriously sat down to calculate what it cost us when talented women walk out of a pipeline that we never bothered to fix. Think about that honestly. What innovations were never designed because the woman who has the design was never given a chance in the room? What markets were never reached because persons who understood the customers was passed over for someone who did not? What decisions were made poorly year after year because the people making them all thought the same way, from the same place, and saw the world through the same lens? We do not know, and that ignorance has cost us, and we are having to pay for it even without recognizing it. Because one of the biggest risks our industry has carried for years is the risk of underutilizing its women. And unlike flood or fire, this is a loss that we cannot reinsure. So today is not just another conference conversation, it is a moment of honesty. It is a moment of responsibility, because when we say give to gain, we are not speaking about generosity as an abstract virtue. We are speaking about deliberate investment, especially in each other and especially now. Now I'll talk a bit about the numbers. Before we go ahead and talk about empowerment, let us ground ourselves in the reality. Please, I'll share slides after. After this, I would share slides for everybody. Before we talk about empowerment, let us ground ourselves in this reality, because insurance, we do not make decisions based on no data. We always need data. Globally, women make up about 60% of the insurance workforce. Yes, they occupy less than a fifth of board positions and an even smaller percentage of top executive roles. This industry is powered by women, but led disproportionately by men. Sorry, Gideon. And Ghana is not exempt from this pattern. In our own context, women represent a significant share of the labor force, yet only a small fraction occupy managerial and senior leadership positions. But I want you to hear these numbers not as a statistic or some distant workforce. I want you to hear them as a description of the women in this room. These numbers describe your colleagues, it describes your peers, and it describes you. At the same time, very few insurance organizations have structured systems intentionally designed to accelerate women's careers. So what many women experience is not a lack of competence, not a lack of ambition, but a lack of structured opportunity. And that is the heart of what we are here to address. We are not trying to create potential. The potential is already here. It's already proven, already delivered results every single day. We are here because it is time to correct a structural imbalance in how opportunity flows. And that correction begins with us. Now, I want to be very clear about who this conversation belongs to. And I'm probably here to come and push you to think outside the box and what is known as normal. I'm a very unconventional person. So yes, I would, all the weird things nobody's scared to say, I'll boldly say it and answer it and leave the room and get you all thinking. I want you to be very clear about who this conversation belongs to, because it is not only for CEOs and the executives and the people whose name appear on the conference programs. It's for the young underwriting officer who is still finding her voice, wondering what this industry truly has space for her and what she has to bring to the table. It is for the claims professional who navigates very difficult conversations with clients every single day and does it with a grace and a competence that too few people stood up to recognize. It is for the broker who is building trust, one client, one relationship, one kept promise at a time. Level, while knowing that the eyes of the woman coming behind them are watching and can see what is possible. And the truth, if we are honest with ourselves, is that many women in this industry are highly competent, deeply committed, and genuinely excellent at what they do, and yet still under-recognized, still under-sponsored, and still not stretched in the ways that would take them and make them realize their full capability. This is what we are here to change. Please let me be direct about something we rarely say in professional settings. Competence is not the problem. Women in insurance are not lacking in skill. They are not lacking in capability. If anything, many of us are overprepared and we overdeliver. We work twice as hard to earn the same recognition that arrives more easily for others. And yet progression still feels very uneven. Advancement still feels uncertain. The path to the top still feels for too many women like a road that keeps changing its rules. That is because leadership advancement in this industry is influenced not just by competence, but by vision, by visibility, by advocacy, and by access to the right conversation at the right moment. I want to talk to us a little about who a mentor is and who a sponsor is. Most of us know who mentors are, and we've become very comfortable talking about mentors. Mentorship matters deeply, and I do not want to diminish it. Most of us can point to someone, perhaps one person, who saw something in us before we saw it ourselves. One conversation that shifted our sense of what was possible. One person who believed in us at the moments when we did not believe in ourselves. That person was a gift, and we owe it to the next generation to be that gift for someone else. But here's the truth that we don't say loudly enough. Mentorship alone does not break ceilings. A mentor advises, but a sponsor advocates. A mentor helps you navigate the room. A sponsor helps you name when you are not in the room. And that is what we need. A mentor builds your confidence, but a sponsor bets their reputation on you. I have watched many talented women wait for years for someone to advocate for them the way less qualified colleagues were advocated for in a single conversation behind a closed door, usually at a bar. That is not a performance problem. This is a sponsorship problem. And it is one of the most difficult and least discussed reasons why the pipeline continues to leak at the very point where it should be delivering leaders. So I'll use myself as an example. I am the second female president of Ghana Insurance Association. And the person that sponsored me was the first female president, Madam Aretha Duku. She called me and she spoke to me about the role of historically had more mentors than sponsored. And your influence, your credibility, your willingness to stay in the room and say it where it counts, that the woman is ready and I'm prepared to put my reputation on it. Because if this answer is not recent, then where is the change happening? We shouldn't hide behind anyone's brilliance. And let me say something to every woman who is still climbing. still working to be seen, and still wondering whether she's doing enough, do not hide your brilliance. I know many of us were raised to let the work speak for itself, to be modest, to be called forward. And while there is dignity in that, there is also a cost. Because the truth is, hard work earns trust, while ability drives progression. They are not the same, and they do not present the same results. So speaking in the meetings where you have been staying quiet, you need to start speaking. Put your name forward for the opportunity you've been. So I'll be looking at growing together and rising as one. So I believe that one of the most important shifts we can make, not just as individuals, but as a community, is growing together and rising as one. We often say that women should support women. It sounds right. It feels right. But if we are truly honest with each other, it's not always lived reality. Sometimes we compete when we could collaborate. Sometimes we hesitate to recommend another woman because we are uncertain whether it reflects well on us. Sometimes in environments where there seems to be space for only one, we guard that space instead of expanding it. I'm not here to judge any of that. Those instincts do not come from nowhere. They come from being in the system that we were designed to make, to compete. From being in rooms where there generally was only one seat, from learning over the years to experience the scarcity was the rule. But the scarcity was never real. It is that we stopped acting as if we had space to include anymore. Organizations with genuine diverse leadership, not only one woman on a board of 12, but meaningfully diverse teams at every level of decision making, consistently outperform their peers. I believe both the commissioner and the other lady spoke about it. They make better decisions. As women, we look at the pro, the con. We go above and beyond. Even things we're not supposed to think about, we think about it when making a decision. That shows how thorough we are. Just a second. We anticipate risk more effectively. We design better products. They retain more talent and they are resilient when things get hard. So every time a woman is kept from a senior position leadership in the name of maintaining standards, the organization is not protecting its performance, it is undermining it. And the leaders who allow it, male and female, are not guardians of excellence. They are liabilities to it. When a woman rises alone, it is progress. When many rise together, it becomes a transformation. And this industry is long overdue for transformations. I'm happy to tell you that the commissioner is a female, GIA president is a female, and of course, CILAG is a female. And we are impacting this industry in ways that we could never even think about. Nicolina, fantastic job. I want to leave a question in this room, and I want to say it with you after, and I don't want to say it with you after you've left. If we collectively agree today that no woman in this room would board her return flight without identifying one other woman she intends to actively support in the next 6 months, and how that would change. I will tell you what would change: everything. The entire texture of how careers develop in this industry would shift, because that is the scale of what becomes possible when we move from language into action, from good intentions into deliberate commitments. So I want to say something a little about sponsorship. Sponsorship means that when you are not there, so I have some of my team members who are here. When they are not there, I know each and everyone's skill set, and I know the positions that are available. I don't have to wait for them to come and send an email, or I don't have to do anything. I must know my staff to the point where When there's a role available, I'm able to say, Abena is going to take on this role. And I have no problems in knowing that she would excel in that role. That confidence for her alone would ensure that she also passes it on to her next colleague. I want all of us to sit and think about this. I want you to feel the weight of what it would mean to answer it with your choices and not just with your words. And this brings me to what I believe is the most significant thing happening in this room right now. Ghana and Nigeria. CILAG and PILA. Different histories, different regulatory environments, different markets, but one shared purpose. This is what it looks like when women in insurance choose to collaborate over competition. This is what happens when two associations look at each other across the board and say, we are stronger together than when we are apart. The risk we insure today do not respect national borders. The markets we are trying to reach do not stop at customs. And the solutions we need, including the solution of having far more women leading this industry, must be equally expansive. This corridor between Ghana and Nigeria must not close when our Nigerian ladies board the flights home. The relationship built in this room must become the foundation of our joint research, cross-border mentorship, shared advocacy, and a regional movement that shows the rest of the continent what women in insurance can do when they decide to do it together. I think we underestimate these conversations sometimes. Insurance penetration across our markets remain deeply low, and yet women drive a substantial portion of economic activity, particularly within the informal sector, the sector where most Africans actually live their economic lives. This means something very important for every leader in this room. Empowering women in insurance is not just an internal conversation about fairness and equity. It is a growth strategy. It is a market access strategy. It is the most direct path to customers this industry has been failing to reach. Now think about the woman farmer managing her climate risk without no coverage. The market trader with no business interruption policy. The young mother who needs life insurance but has never once been spoken to in any language she trusts, by a face that looks like hers, and why it matters and how it works. These are not edge cases. These are large, untapped markets, and the truth is that every insurance CEO should be grappling with this. You will not design relevant products for these women if these people design your products have never lived anything close to your reality. Women are the best to ensure women's needs, point blank, period. When women lead in this industry, they do not just add diversity to an organogram. They design relevance. They see markets that others overlook. They build trust that has been missing. And they are not a nice to have. These are competitive necessities. For us to talk about legacy, I want us to look at it not just as an abstract concept for later in our career, not as something to think about when you have achieved more or risen higher, but as something you are building right now, today, in every choice you make about how you show up for the people around you. Legacy isn't about titles held or positions occupied. It is about what continues because you were there. It's about the difference between passing through an industry and actually changing the industry. You do not need to be a chief executive to build a legacy that matters. The branch manager who spent a decade developing her team with genuine generosity, who stays late to talk through a challenge with a junior colleague, or writes a recommendation letter with real care and real specificity. Because you know when a man writes a recommendation, it's straight to the point. Doesn't talk about the soft skills the person have. So these are things that we have that we are not using enough of. The underwriter who takes the graduate training program that nobody else has had time and invests in her seriously and patiently, she's building a legacy. The association member who shows up consistently, who serves without needing recognition, who gives her Saturdays to a mentorship program when she could be doing anything else. She's building a legacy that will outlast her tenure and shape professionals she will never even meet. If someone grows because of your guidance, if someone gains confidence to raise her hand in a room she would have stayed silent in, if somebody stayed in this industry through a difficult season because you showed her it was worth staying, then you're already shaping the future of an insurance. You're already building your legacy. The only question that matters right now is whether you are doing it deliberately. One of the most powerful things any of us can do is to tell the truth about our journey. Not the polished version. The polished version is for the books. But when we meet as sisters, we should tell our stories. Not the version where everything worked out and the lessons were learned gracefully and the path was difficult, but we always overcame. Not that kind of version. The real version. The board that did not take you seriously until you made them take you seriously. The promotion you were passed over for and what you did with that disappointment. The moment you seriously considered leaving this industry and what made you decide to stay. The morning you walked into a room where no one expected you to succeed and you succeeded anyway. Tell that story. Tell it fully and tell it honestly. Because somewhere, maybe in this room right now, there's a woman who is standing at one of those exact moments. She's deciding whether to stay or go, whether to push forward or to stay back, whether to believe that this industry has a place for who she is. And your story, the real one, not the edited one, might be exactly the evidence that she needs to keep her going. The polished version inspires admiration, but the honest version inspires courage. And it is courage, not credentials, not connections, not perfect timing, but courage that produces the kind of change this industry actually needs. And I want to say one more thing about legacy before I close, because this is one of for the leaders and the organizations in this room. Individual generosity is beautiful. Individual mentorship changes life. But if we want to progress, a progression that endures, it must be built on systems, into succession plans that actually names women, into promotion processes that are transparent and auditable, into leadership pipelines that are designed with the same intentionality that we bring to any other strategic priority. Because progress that depends on individuals are very fragile. The day that an individual moves on or burns out or decides they've had enough, the progress goes with them. Progress that is sustained by structure, by policy, by institutional commitment progresses. It builds on itself. It creates the conditions for the next generation to go further than we did. And ultimately, it is the real test of a good leader. Have we made it easier for the next women? If the answer is no, then we have not built a legacy. We have only occupied space. In insurance, we are trained to ask one question above all others. What is the risk? Let me end with this. Risk if we keep having conversations at conferences and then failing to have it in the boardrooms and the performance reviews and succession planning meetings where it actually matters and it counts. The data already tells us the answer. We are operating below our full potential, and in insurance, operating below potential is not just inefficient, it is very risky. It is a liability. We carry on in our books, whether we acknowledge it or not. So I'm not going to ask you to carry a long list of commitments out of this room. I'm going to ask you for one thing. Go back to your organization on Monday and do something structural, not something kind, though kindness matters and is good. Not something encouraging, though encouragement sustains people, but something that can actually change how opportunity flows for the woman who is standing today where you once stood. Change a process. Speak a name in a room where it has not been spoken. Challenge a promotion decision that does not hold up to scrutiny. Start a mentorship program. Fund a sponsorship initiative. Ask your organization out loud why the pipeline looks the way it does and refuse to accept the answer that does not come with a plan. I think I'm giving this to I'm sure my staff are busily writing the note. What are you writing? That you meet me on Monday. Do one structural thing and do another, then keep going. Because gift gain is not a conference theme. It is a way of moving through a career and through a life. It is the understanding that what we invest in each other does not diminish. It multiplies us. Every woman we develop, every door we open, every story we tell honestly, every name we speak in rooms where decisions are being made, it all comes back to us. In stronger organizations, so this is what it is. Legacy, to have legacy is to gain. Let's give together and let us grow together and let us lead together. And together we will build an insurance industry that is stronger, more inclusive, and truly enduring. Not because it was handed over to us, and not because conditions became perfect or permission was finally granted, but because we refused deliberately, collectively, and without apology to build anything less. The future of our industry is not somewhere far away. It is in this room. It is in your hands. It is in your choices you make when you walk out of here today. So please go and let your choices count. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very, very much. She has given us extensive presentation. Now I'm wondering whether I should go ahead and ask the questions because she said it all. But one of the things that she said, which I think is very necessary at this engagement, is for us to tell the stories as it is, for us to be honest about our journey, and to make sure that we can impact the next generation. Whilst I was reading the various profiles of our panel discussants, I noticed that there were 18 years experience, 20 years experience, all those experiences. Now, the next question I wanted to ask is, what should we do differently? How should we move to make sure that after all this presentation, we can say that we are taking the actions that in a year's time we'll sit back and say that we agreed and we did it. So I would first and foremost hand it over to, do you have, Madam Mustafa, do you have a microphone? Oh, okay. I'll hand it over to you because in your profiling, I realized that most of the work that you've done is in a male-dominated space. Oil and gas, aviations, and everything, engineering. So how have you been able to navigate the story to come this far? And what are some of the things that we can learn? If there's no mic, I'll hand over my. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies in the house. Women, we all know that women, we play a massive role in global economy. And as much as we do that, we have been able to identify, and she has been able to put up to us that there are some gaps, that we have not really leveraged upon. Gaps as well as unequal opportunities. And that's one of the reasons why we are here today. We want to reflect on these unequal opportunities and see how we can make these opportunities flow to the women and for our women to get to the top. So to your question now, some of the stories I have to say, truly like you said, it's been it's really been a male-denominated um, classes of a business, engineering, aviations, and stuff like that. But the thing I have to say is that one needs to be determined. You need to be sure that you really want to move, you want to play your role, and you don't want to, to be kept aside, you know. And how do you do that? You have to learn. You really need to learn. And then you get close to people that you to take people up. So if you identify people that you know that they are doing fine on their role, they can give you insights, on what to do. Then you click onto them. That is part of my stories. You just don't let go. Because seriously, as a woman, you have to really do play triple roles. So really be identified, because of course, like we said, most people just think you are a woman, and they believe you cannot get there. So you have to do 3 times your role to really prove your point. And you have to be thorough. You need to know what you are doing. Don't give too much room for mistakes or errors. Then you get there.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I wanted to ask Gideon, you have gone through the journey of mentoring people all over the world, Belgium, Philippines, and the rest. The issue is anybody who needs to be mentored, what are some of the things that the person should be ready before you think that you'll be able to guide the person to the next level? And what does success really means to a mentee, a mentor who is trying to mentor other people?
Great question. I think first I would want to commend you people for trying to sandwich me. Bring 2 women to my right and 2 to my left, and then plenty women in front of me. Congratulations to all of you. And I also think that I'm actually sitting in a vantage position because I'm a bridge between Nigeria and Ghana, which is good also. So before I say anything, I just want to throw out a caveat. The things I'm going to say, they are born from real life experience. I have served on boards since over 14 years. I've served on an international board. I've served on the board of an insurance company that is life and non-life. I currently serve on boards of 4 different organizations. I was a CEO of Allianz, and now I'm a CEO again. But before then, even in Nigeria, before I became a CEO, I was also part of executive management as chief people officer. So I am constantly in the room when discussions are going on. And so some of the things I would say, just like you said, are not polished things. So they are not things that you would like to hear. And they are things that you would argue against. But don't shoot the messenger. Just listen to. So for me, to begin, the mentee must first understand where they want to get to. Destination. Because if you don't have a destination, it's difficult for somebody to guide you there. I like how you defined who a mentor is. A mentor is supposed to say, okay, where do you want to go to? And then they guide you in getting there. So number 1, you must be clear where you want to get to. But one thing I see there is that people don't have enough coaches. So today, we've been talking about mentors and sponsors. I will just add coaches. There are different skill sets. Mentor will guide. The sponsor will advocate. But the coach will tell you step by step what you need to do. Sometimes that is what is lacking. So when I say that people should know their destination, sometimes the people don't know what they want to do. That's what the coach will help them to do, to say, okay, this is your skill set. This is what I'm observing. This is what you should do. This is how to communicate. This is how to write. This is how to present. That is missing. So people must look for coaches who will help them define the vision first. And then the mentor would help. Because of that, what I've found in my experience is that one major problem is that most women don't know how to communicate. And what do I mean? So they don't know how to communicate up, sometimes communicate among their peers, and sometimes communicate down. I will start with communicating down. Some women, the way they communicate, because they are women, they necessarily think that they must show their relevance. So sometimes they go overboard. And so the people under them fear them. They say, Madam is coming and all of that. It's the way they are communicating, the way they are passing instructions and all of that. They must know that something is wrong. Sometimes they don't know that it matters. But it does matter. So communication downwards is important. Communication among your peers is extremely important. And I'll tell you this, especially as you are growing, some of your colleagues who are men, sometimes they have your remote button. So they know what to say to annoy you. And they say it, and really, you get annoyed. And when you get annoyed, you start to speak out of emotions, and they take notes of the things. Those things will now work against you. Because the other people who are listening, those are the things, you see, during the meeting, they will not say what they said to provoke you, but they will say the way you reacted. So for communication among peers, very important that you must learn emotional intelligence to be able to choose how to react when somebody says or does something. That gap between when they say it and when you react, you choose how to react. Sometimes you just breathe. Sometimes you just allow them to go. That is communication. Then communication up, extremely important. Some women don't. I like what the lady from the bank expressed about the things she mentioned, access and all, and then she mentioned advocacy. Some people don't think that it is necessary for you to sell yourself. They say, my work will speak for itself. Is a lie. If it's in your family, your work will speak for yourself. Not in the business world. So, make presentations. Talk to people. Let people know your worth. When people know your worth, then it's easy for them to mentor you, for them to sponsor you, for them to coach you, all of those things. But it starts from you. So I will just talk about communication. Later, I will talk about other things that I have noticed from my experience.
Thank you very, very, very much. I wanted to go to Madam Genevieve. Sometimes we are handed over an empty sheet and we are asked to build upon it. You may have some way, somehow, capacity, but you are not sure whether you can do it or not, and whether you get the support. When I read your profile, I read about transitions, where there was nothing like transitions, but it was handed over to you. How did you do it?
Thank you so much, and it's a story I love to share, because the year I charted, some 10 years ago, the opportunity to build transition came up. And I'm happy to say what mentorship does. A mentor, Madam Jackie Benny, we all know her. I called her, benefit position to a service benefit solution, something new, you can do it. Look at it. That was one. I went to somebody to talk to about it. Secondly, I had to do a lot of research. Like you said, it hasn't been done in Ghana the way we wanted to do corporate funeral governance. It hasn't been done. I did a lot of independent research on my own and through international collaboration with South Africa, Botswana, and traveled around the globe looking for information. In that industry, culture is very different from South Africa, Botswana, how they perceive it. The rudiment, the principle, insurance is the same. But when you're moving into a service industry, you need to understand culture and how to deliver principles via culture. And that is what I did. Now it came to looking for local expertise to help. And when you are looking for local expertise, you have to humble yourself to ask around. Speak to doctors, speak to nurses, speak to real estate, speak to mentors. It doesn't matter what I was. I had to forget what I know to gather information. And I wasn't afraid to take risks. We launched product that we thought was it. It didn't do too well. You pull it back. You learn from the failures. Transition had challenging moments. People who know the story will tell you there was an injunction for 1 year. The project was going nowhere. You don't give up. You keep asking yourself, what next? What else can I do? And when you are given a blank sheet, like you're saying, capacity building is what? The willingness to learn, the willingness to stand on shoulders that have acquired it before and duplicate, and the willingness to, how do I say it? The willingness to know that I don't know anything. I learn from everybody, from the customer to the chief to the client, everywhere we are learning. And so capacity building, I keep saying that nobody will build your capacity for you. You have to own it. It's self-owned. And as women, it makes it even much more important that in building your capacity, you will get help. But like my brother said, you have to own the desire to build. And building is also not structured all the time. It could be structured through training. And I like one thing Boatima said, hard work earns trust, visibility earns progress. And that is it when you are building capacity. Learn from everyone. I have mentors I learn from. When I make a mistake, COVID happened in the transition story. We are all here in Ghana. People say transition blossomed in COVID period. No. In the beginning, we cried because nothing was moving. But we went back to the drawing board and re-innovated with a new product that changed the industry. That is capacity building, learning from failures. So capacity is built by owning the desire to grow, the desire to learn, looking at people who have done it before, looking at experience, and having the willingness that I don't know it, I need to learn and self-educate. And always we are looking for somebody, you want somebody to recommend you. At times, it's just a matter of, I can do it. Lifting your hand and be saying, here I am. And that is what people are looking for. Thank you.
Thank you very, very, very much. Boatima, I'll ask you the last question, which is, today you are the CEO of the second largest insurance company in Ghana. So everybody would be assuming that you had it easy and you came this far. I wanted to find out what are some of the preparatory things that you needed to do for you to say that, yes, I think I am ready, and everybody saw that I am ready.
Okay, so I work for a family business, so obviously I mean, I have to declare that. But this family business is different because my father is a very difficult person. So after I finished sixth form here, I was 17. So he thought I could not go to university in the UK on my own. So I applied for a job at Star Assurance as a receptionist. That was my first ever job. I was a receptionist for a year before I went. And when I came back, they sent me off to Ghana Re, and Priscilla is here. I had to be taught. I had no plans of doing insurance. All I knew is I love Star, and I wanted to make sure that Star succeeds. And that meant there were some requirements. I had to become an insurer to a certain extent. So actually, when I moved back to Ghana, I was doing my last master's, and I started insurance college. Some of my mates are here. I see Pat. So during the day, I would be writing my dissertation, and at night, I'll go for classes. When I finish, sometimes I'd have to go into work as well. When it was time for me to become CEO, I went through an interview process with the board chairman, who is an independent board chairman, by the way. And the first thing he said is, do not think that you are coming to work for your father. And I think that pretty much broke any sort of enjoyment that I thought I was going to enjoy. Because I remember there was one day I was working in the accounts department, and during that time, you have to balance accounts before you go home. And this is during my gap year, the 1 year. It was 7:30 p.m., 17-year-old girl. And then my madam was like, it's not balanced, you can't go. And then I'm like, you realize my father owns the company. I actually used that phrase. And then he called my father right in front of me and said that she's not coming home till she balances the things. And my father was like, fantastic, and he put the phone down. I called him back, and he never responded to my phone call. I got home at 9 p.m., and he was almost proud because he knew that I was going to back out and leave. But to me, work ethic is critical, it's very important. For me, I need to understand the ins and outs of the business. I have done everything there is to do in insurance. I have sold, I've done reinsurance, I've done customer experience. I've been to every single unit before I was even considered manager trainee, because I had to ensure that during my tenure, I would not fail. And for me, it's even worse because it's a legacy issue. You are not the one going to destroy your children's future, as my father would say. So sometimes people think it is easy, but there's that added pressure of making sure that your family is okay, the business is okay, and you tend to care about your staff because you've been in it for. I've really been working at Star since I was 17, in and out. I would come for summer and I was forced to work. So during that time, you build relationships and you see people and you work with people and you get to understand the different dynamics. I'm treated like any other staff. My staff are here. It's CEO. I'm working. I don't take advantage of it. I make sure that just as they are producing, I'm very competitive, unfortunately for them. So the salespeople, before they even hit their targets, I would have hit my target already. So I am part of the game. I am not there to do myself, madam, no. Because I'm also so competitive, I want to make sure that before I even start, all my cards are on the table. And that is the difference. When you're in such a position like mine, most people tend to think that, oh, you got it very easy. But it is important for you to also know that because, and for me, one of the validations for me was when I was running to be the president of the Ghana Insurance Association, I was able to discuss issues, I was able to speak to issues, I was able to put my vision clearly as to what I want to achieve within the next 2 years. It wasn't a matter of vote for me because I'm a female, no. I said I'm a female so I can multitask, but vote for me because I know that within the 2 years, I'll be able to do this, do that, and I'm being held accountable for it. So I think it's important that no matter where you are, make sure that you are visible. And I think what we oftentimes, I know Nigerians do it better. My best friend is Nigerian too. I know Nigerians do it better, but with Ghanaians, we tend to, oh, I'm not going to say anything, or they'll think that I'm being disrespectful. You can always give your point very clearly with full respect. Nigerians are a bit more aggressive. They're able to put their points across, but Ghanaians have this culture of, I don't want to offend anybody. I will offend the person. If I can get the person to move, I will offend you to be able to do the work. I would push you. And those are the things that we have to be looking at. So it's not just about you have it easy. Now I have about 4 jobs in one now, so yeah, I'm really going through it. But I think the most important thing is being confident and knowing where you are going ultimately. That's what it is.
Thank you very, very much. Let's give a round of applause to all of them. I think that over here, there are several people who have 1 or 2 to share, which when we get to opportunities like this, it's not always about the people on the panel, but we could also get 1 or 2. Anybody having any idea on how they have been able to journey over the years and what made them do well? Can I have assistance with the mic? Any hand up so that we can be assisted? We'll take about 2. Yes, if you have any question as well. Very well. Yvonne, thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Yvonne, CEO of Bedrock Insurance. I think and Vice President of CILAG. So, Gideon. I wanted to fight Gideon, but he already gave a caveat that he knows people will fight him. So I want to combine something Gideon said and then Boatima. I agree and understand when you say that individuals should put themselves up and then showcase what they are capable of and they can do. But then again, sometimes when you're in a certain position, like Boatima said, skills is not lacking. Competence is not lacking. Probably what we currently need, and looking at all the conversations that have been had about women, is a sponsor. Not a mentor, because, we do mentor, is a sponsor. Currently, the job I'm in is because someone mentioned my name. I am in CIG because Seth was my MD. At that time, I was very young. I didn't know what I was about. It wasn't something I wanted to pursue. I didn't even hear about the CIG. But Seth knew my capabilities, and then he ordered that I should go. So that was his way of pushing, and he pushed me into the CIG. So I started from the bottom, and now I'm almost at the top. But then, over the years, and then from my experience, it's very difficult to hear women sponsor other women or mention your name. My career has been supported by men. So the women, what are we doing? We get to the top and, I don't know, do we forget how we got to the top? Or like Boatima said, we want to give the others -1 to start from. It is about time we move the conversation from show your capabilities, what you can do, and then find a mentor and a coach. It's all brilliant. It's all good. But as women sitting here, ask yourself, are you willing to sponsor someone? If something comes up, will you mention a fellow woman's name? Or the first thing you think about is a man? Because, it's a man's world, or it's a man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we take the next one so that we give a concluding statement? Yes, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Bosse Agbogu. I work for Nigeria Insurance Association. My own is not a contribution, it's like an observation, and I thereafter will probably ask what can be done. When it comes to mentoring, let me use Nigeria now to talk. You find out that maybe the mentee, you look at somebody, you are eyeing the person up there because of the pedigree, and you want such person, you want to be like her. Now let's scale it down to a woman. And the person is a very, very busy person. You are living in mainland, your mentor is living in highland, and apart from that, this is a person that all the nights will probably do meeting, and in the day too, you see a CEO. Where I'm going is this person is busy and does not have your time. So, and you want her to mentor you. So how do you align it? This is what we are facing. And so how do you align? How do you ensure that person do the needful the way you want it? Because that's my own observation. My past president, Femi Ogu, she knows what I'm talking about. And so for a person like me, I'm almost going out. But those who are coming behind us, how do you ensure so that our gathering here today will not just be theory? How do you ensure that indeed we take it up and mentor those who are coming behind us?
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Yes, please give them.
Maybe I would not have talked, but because she mentioned me particularly, that's why I said to stand up and talk. My belief is that there's nothing you cannot achieve if you put your mind to it. The mentoring I'm doing now, maybe I've only met one of them physically once, because she took it upon herself to meet me in the office. She'd come several times. She didn't, but she wanted to meet me. We do this thing online, even at night. You see, somebody said that you should know what you want in any relationship. It's very, very important. You see, the mentors are very, very busy. And it's not our fault. We've gotten to that peak where the work is much. Okay? We're not doing the media jobs again. But the executive job load is very, very, very high. I think I slept around 1:30 yesterday in the night. Excuse me? And I had to catch a flight this morning to get here. Okay? And if I had an appointment with my mentor for maybe 8:39 that night, I would have thought about it, okay, fine, I can still squeeze that 1 hour. We've established boundaries. We've established a plan, because this is now, it's not an informal mentoring. It's formal. It should be formal to get something substantial out of it. Okay? There are so many types of mentoring. Some people will see you, they like your fashion. They want you to mentor them along that line. Some people want you to mentor them because of your intellectual ability. Some people want to mentor them along the line of their career. Know what you want first and foremost before you go into any mentoring relationship. It's very, very important. And instead of no time, we create time. We don't have to see. Create the time. And the mentee should also be understanding of the peculiarity of the workload with the mentor. It's very, very important. And we can achieve. Once we've established what we want, we find a way around it, and it works. Believe me, it works. You need to see me. Believe me, it works. So whether you are in England, yes, I mentored somebody who was in England. And I was in Nigeria. And it worked. And she got the job. We're trying to get a job. And we're always having this meeting 3 times a week in the night. And she got the job. So it's a success. Okay? Then I also like to talk about the fact that women, we don't want to support ourselves. Like the lady said, you see, the narratives have changed, if you ask me. Maybe once upon a time, you see, when I got into corporate world, it's like any woman that is either must be very tough, is unapproachable, is this, is that. We now realize that most of us that are up there, we kind of grew up together. And we know ourselves. And just like the children we are bringing up these days, you can't be too tough with them, can you? No, they will tell you straight, no, stop it. I have that challenge in my office. I run an insurance broking firm. The Gen Zs, they run me crazy. But you know what? I attended a workshop where they told me how to handle them, understand them, bring them to you. Do what you want them, they want you to do. Do it then, gently, infuse. Because honestly, they bring some things to the table, some important things to the table, some valuable things to the table. So once you get that idea, so work with them along their path, and you get the best from them. That's what I'm learning. So, in that wise, we are not as tough as our predecessors. We've learned to bring women closer to ourselves. And I think if nobody takes anything away from this room today, we should all commit to drawing women to ourselves. Because the future is for the women. Look around the world. The future is for the women. Don't let Africa be left behind. We need to go with the world. Please, commit, the executives here, commit to bringing your girls closer to you. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be firm. You will need to be firm. But they must understand why you're being firm. And if they're serious-minded, they will understand that and respect you for it. Okay? So if there's a woman that chases girls away, please bring them closer to you. It's not as it used to be that women, they are too harsh, they are too this, they are too that. The narrative is changing. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think what I'll say is about the mentor-mentee relationship is, for the mentor, you have to be very strict on your mentees. Some of these mentees, they don't know what they want. There's one that has said, I want to be just like you. But you don't know my temperament. You don't know what I go through. So I think you need to be very specific with them. I know that my sister also does some mentorship because she's an actuary. But it gets to a point where she realizes the person is not fit for actuarial material. And you as the mentor should be able to tell them that if you want to be an actuary, this and this and this is what you have to do. At the end of the day, the lady went in to do ACCA. Until now, she always contacts her and thanks her for it. So with the women also not sponsoring or advocating for women, I think women, we are naturally very secretive about certain things. For example, I wasn't well yesterday, the whole day, Nicolina was looking for me. And I said to her, I'm not well, I'm at the hospital, but I'm going to make sure that today I'm here. You have to be honest with people. There are some people, they will get pregnant and they will hide it, thinking that, oh, I want to have more time with my baby at home. Not realizing the fact that you hiding it, you are putting yourself in danger. And you can actually have the baby in the office. So these are some of the things. If women, we are going to put our emotions in check and be honest and know that this is my situation. This is what it is. For me, for example, with my children, I've told them you cannot reach me after during working hours. If it's absolutely urgent, I've given them my executive assistant's number. And they have to understand. It is a difficult situation, but they have to understand. So we have to make sure we're honest with ourselves and our situations. The reason why I might not recommend a lady is probably because the man never shows the emotions. So it's a bit easier dealing with less emotions. I am a woman, and I have those emotions, so I know what I'm talking about. But less emotions is more focusing on the job itself is what is required. So it is important that we keep our emotions in check. If you have to cry, go lock yourself in the room and cry. But then you clean your face, you come back, and then life goes on. There are days I'm sure my PA has seen sing in my office, but then when I step out, I am CEO. When it is partying, I'm the first person to bring the drinks out. But when it's time to, so it's being able to understand is the emotions bit that makes it difficult. Even for us women sometimes, you need your colleague to be focused on something, and then they are being emotional about it. So it becomes difficult for you as the manager who is taking charge. So I think keeping your emotions in check and being honest. We are not used to being honest because we say we don't want people knowing our business. But when it gets to a level, sometimes you have to disclose certain things just to make the people around the room know the real situation. So I think that's what I'll share.
Just finally, on mentoring, I think what I would advise is, like what Madam said, don't try to make mentoring informal. Make it formal. When you make it formal, then it's fine. So I mentor a lot of people across different countries because I mentor a lot of innovators. In Nigeria, there are like 4 different innovators. The Innovation Challenge that was done by the UNDP recently, I mentor the top 3 winners. Then I also mentor 2 others from the group. I mentor them. In Ethiopia, I conducted Innovation Challenge. I mentored the top 3 winners and someone else. And this is on technical mentoring. But beyond that, even all the other things. So if you see, it's formal. It's this time to this time. So you make it a calendar. It's not like an informal thing. You put it there. It's in the calendar. So no matter how busy, it is possible. Let me give you an example. Yetunde Ilori that you mentioned. Yetunde Ilori was my first boss when I was in Nigeria. Till today, she's still my mentor. I live on the island. She lives on the mainland. And for me to get her, sometimes it's weekends. It's Sunday. She's a pastor. And so after church in the evening, my wife and I, we drive, we are there. But it's because we know what we want and we know how and when she will be free and plug ourselves into the calendar. So that is my advice. Don't try to make it informal. Make it formal. People are very busy, but if you plug it, please give me 20 minutes. Is it on Friday? Is it? Then you can plug it in. To what she was saying about sponsorship, the truth is, yes, it's sponsors that we need. The only reason why I'm not talking about sponsorship a lot here is because I am talking to the people here so that it's not an area, there's an area of influence and then there's an area of concern. Area of concern is something you cannot control. So the people who are talking about, the board members, all of those, but they are not here. So if I keep talking about that, they're not here to listen. It will just be theory. That's why I'm focusing on area of concern. I'm saying that advocate, sell yourself. Let the people notice you. You know why? You would know. We worked in the same organization. You see, when I became CEO, I helped to move a couple of the women to become executive managers. You are aware. One of them is in this room. When I got in, she was just a relationship manager in underwriting. But when I left, she was the COO. She was in executive management. She was the COO. Another one was just a relationship manager in the business, in sales. When I left, she was in executive management, head of strategy. Another one was just head of partnership. But when I left, she became my deputy CEO as a woman. So I understand the part of sponsorship. When I speak, and in the midst of, I tell you, I am in boardrooms, so I speak to the sponsors, and I tell them what they should not look at and what they should look at. Because sometimes what they look at is very funny. Like she said, they look at emotion. That one that cannot control herself, then you say, no, look beyond that. This is it. So you can mentor them in those settings. But they are not here. So if I keep talking about sponsorship, it will not work. That's why I'm concentrating on coaching here. And I'm saying you yourself, build yourself up to when someone will recognize you. have the skill that when someone is like, this lady, then you attract the sponsor, the mentor, the coach who will now take you forward. So I understand it, but please, if you don't learn anything today, learn to communicate well.
Thank you very
That
much.
is very important. That is one, please, just 30 seconds. Learn to communicate well. Have a clear vision of where you want to be. Even if you don't understand it technically, just look at somebody around you who is somewhere and say, this is the position I want to be. Then learn about the things that has taken the person there in terms of the skills, the knowledge, the experience, and then learn to collaborate. The keynote speaker said it. I had to discuss with my children, my house help, my husband. Learn to discuss with a lot of people who will help you. It's unfortunate we don't have time, but it's fine. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause to him. We have the final submission from our patron, Dr. Mrs. Kakari. Can somebody help with the mic?
Thank you very much. I just want to reiterate the things they have said. One, you should know exactly what you need from your mentor. Two, be visible. But you know what? The best visibility comes from working more. You have been employed as a claims officer, a claims manager. You are satisfied with that? No. Go learn underwriting on your own. Go to your bosses. Tell them, now I want to also manage underwriting. I started in one of the companies as a marine claim officer. Within 6 months, I was managing all the claims, still as an officer. Go for better portfolio, bigger portfolio. That makes you more visible. That makes you more, they cannot just get rid of you. They can only promote you with the little shake you give. You don't need to go to discuss salary. Go discuss bigger portfolio. That will make you unstoppable. That will make you strong. And they cannot just get rid of you, back to acknowledge you and give you the bigger money. God bless you.
Thank you very, very, very much. Let's give a round of applause to everyone. We are grateful for your time. We believe that we've gotten some nuggets that we'll be able to use in our various organizations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Elsie Adade, and your panelists. We are very grateful for this insight. Please kindly take your seat. I'll release you one after the other. Kindly take your seat. All right, so we have presentations, and first on my list I have, it will go to Madam or Mrs. Boatma Dufo Bafo Iwa, and to do us the honors, we'll invite the CILAG President, Madam Nicolina. Please clap for her.
My sister, the work has just started, and you know. This morning, when I texted, I said, I didn't want to call you. She was on drip yesterday. She said, Nicolina, I'm coming, I'm dressing up. It put tears in my eyes. Because before we went to bed, myself and the PILA president knelt down and said, God, she she said she will be here. Let her be here. And to all who must be here who are sick, heal them and let them come. And you are here. And you delivered. Please help me thank this woman. My sister. We don't know how to thank her more.
It's beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. It's nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mrs. Bafwe, we are friends because of the color of the cloth. So I'll see you afterwards. Then I would invite Madam Chioma to help us do the next presentation. And the next presentation goes to the only man who was sandwiched on the right and on the left, and in front of him, and one at the back. So blessed. So the next presentation goes to Mr. Gideon Atarari. Atarari.
Thank you very much to Mr. Gideon for a very nice delivery, an awesome delivery today.
Thank you. Shall we invite Mrs. Kakari to do the next presentation for us? And this goes to Madam Felicia Mustafa. Madam Genevieve, LOC Nigeria, please prepare yourself for the next presentation.
Thank you, Madam, for your brilliant submission, but I think you left something out. The boldness that women need. Boldness. I think that is what took you through a man's world, and you won. God bless you.
Please, the rep for LOC Nigeria, can I have you? Is she around? Yes, please help me again. This presentation goes to Madam Genevieve Cornelius.
You know, it's always interesting. I stand here today and I feel so much energy. I never knew estrogen could be so strong. It's almost pushing me down. Thank you very much. That was awesome. And we hope to see more of you. I'll probably invite you over to Nigeria one of these days.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, the former president of PILA. Madam, please help me. And the presentation goes to our moderator, Madam Elsie Adade. Thank you so much for your work. We are grateful.
For a very, very, very powerful moderation, for having the cue to ask the right questions, for probing the discussant to give out the right answers. I'd like to say on behalf of this educational conference organized by CILAG and PILA, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you. You obviously did very well, and we are proud of what you have done. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So please, you can now take your seat. Let's give them a hand of applause for a good work done. Sure, thank you. Okay, so I want to acknowledge the presence of the Minister of Gender, Children, and Social Protection. And there's a rep here in the person of Madam Richlove, Enima Beche. Please give us a wave. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. But guess what? There is a birthday celebrant among us. And she's in the person of Mrs. Cecilia Bruce from Downwell Technical Unit. Kindly give us a birthday tune. And please, in case you were born in April, kindly stand up and then let's appreciate you too. All the celebrants in April, please, there's a music for you. Madam Cecilia, please be on your feet. We are singing happy birthday to you. Thank you. That's beautiful. We want to acknowledge the chair for the Insurance Awareness Coordinators Group in the person of Mr. Wilson Ter. Please give us a wave. Mr. Wilson, thank you so much. And now the best news for this afternoon. Guess what? It's time for lunch. All right, so we'll be moving to the Ghanaian village where we